Welcome to Sengoku Studies. Thank you for joining me. Recently, Anthony Cummins has talked a little bit about half sorting on his channel, and we have had some email exchanges about the subject. So I'm going to kind of piggyback off that and talk briefly about half sorting. Any videos by other contributors for this month's collaboration series will be linked in the description and on the playlist. I do not have the confidence to show myself publicly demonstrating some of the specific things I am talking about in the video, so the images used will be general ones related to what I am considering half sorting for this video, and not necessarily related to what I am saying at that particular time. I will be using a video later on with permission from Mekugi, and his channel and a couple of videos related to this will be linked in the description. The concept of half sorting, meaning very broadly, putting a hand, usually the left, on the blade of a sword, is typically associated with European martial arts, but it still seems to be something that is not common knowledge among people not focused on study of something that would bring them into contact with that. Warfare, history, HEMA, and so on, or watched YouTube videos about it. In terms of Japanese sword fighting, it seems to be even less widely known among the same type of people that have not come into something that would bring it to their attention. Basically, I am saying that neither case does it seem to be common knowledge, but even less so in the case of Japan. Despite this, though, half sorting did occur in Japanese swordsmanship in at least some situations. It continues to exist in numerous Koryu Ryuha. The idea of holding on to the blade of your sword in order to fight might seem counterintuitive. However, if you do not pull the blade across your hand or fingers, it is not as dangerous as people may think. Not to say there is no danger. In addition, some samurai would wear gloves, and sometimes these gloves were made of leather. This added an extra layer of protection. Now, you would still have to know how to handle the sword, how to grip it properly, and move it in order to avoid a cutting motion, so do not try it yourself. There is still some risk to doing it, but it was not impossible. There is one method that is usually included with half sorting, which some people may not count as actually being half sorting when it comes to Japanese swordsmanship. That is because this is putting a hand, again, usually the left, on the back or spine or one of the flat sides of the blade. This is not gripping the blade. Rather, it is more like pushing against the sword with the hand. Defensively, this can be used to reinforce a block, create a bind, try to push the enemy's sword into another position, to create openings for a strike by getting the sword out of the way, which is kind of similar to what I just said, or unbalancing the enemy so they cannot defend, and so on. Offensively, it can be used to reinforce and stabilize a cut or a thrust. It can be used in close range when there is not enough distance to fully swing the sword in order to put more power into what is sometimes called a short draw cut. It can also be used to work the mono no uchi, or the kisaki, which are the last few inches and the tip of the blade respectively, into gaps of armor. Of course, in sword fighting, defense and offense are not always, perhaps rarely, mutually exclusive. I will show a brief clip from the Takeda Shingen Taiga drama from the 80s. I apologize for the quality and the fact that it comes from a fictional source, but it was the best visual representation of half sorting offensively I could find on short notice other than Koryu Kata. Others may not consider it actually half sorting unless the blade is actually gripped by the hand. One area where this second type of hand sorting is prominent is in the use of the no-dachi. And in this video, I will be specifically showing and talking about Hikita Kageryu, which dates from the 16th century. In Hikita Kageryu, the no-dachi is used by wrapping the part of the blade near the tsuba, handguard, in some kind of a wrap. In old documents, this was simply referred to as maki, which means just wrap. This maki could be made of cloth or leather, and this essentially turned the no-dachi into something like a nagamaki. This addition of the maki made the grip extra long, providing better control and movement of the long and heavy blade. Not all no-dachi techniques across all schools are done with a maki, but this video is focused on half sorting. I will now show the no-dachi portion of one of Mekugi's videos of the Shunpukan.
実際、上泉瀬名神がこういう形でもってですね、戦場へ出て、いろいろ戦ったという太刀ですね。昔はこういう大きな刀で相手と戦ったわけですね。だいたい3尺3寸から4寸ぐらいあります。 ですからこういう形はですね、戦国時代の形ですから非常に、古い形なんです。それと構えが脇構えといいまして、脇から出るというこの大太刀は2本ともこれ本身であります。非常に重いですから手前の方だけはこういったもので、巻いてですね、どちらかというと手幅を広く使います。それから戦ってですね、最後の爪ですね、その時にできるだけ下からこう跳ね上げるわけですね。脇が甲冑がないですから下から脇の下を跳ね上げるとか、あるいは股の方を下から跳ね上げるというこの形を表しています。下からペッと跳ね上げるわけですね。甲冑のあるところはなかなか上から切ってもですね切れないです。しかし甲冑のないところを要するに攻めるわけですね。
顔切ればどう？切られたら死ぬんじゃない？ダメじゃん。その前にさ、やって足がだって昔はさ、ガンダムみたいなやつ見てた。全然切ってない。切ったし、やっぱり
はい、大太刀の形を終わります。実際戦国時代はこういった長いもので戦ったんですね。周りの遠いところだんだん接近戦になって刀。
I am not trying to imply that half-swording in general was something that was common or not, although the first type of half-swording you can actually see quite a bit of, but I'm more talking about the second kind to where you're actually gripping the sword. Like anything with sword fighting, it was situational. I just wanted to introduce one aspect that the samurai did not always fight with their sword standing straight, facing straight forward, two hands always on the handle. Thank you so much for watching. A special thank you to my Patreon member, Coulter Nebel. If you found this video interesting, please consider leaving a like, sharing, commenting, and perhaps subscribing. Please also check out any other contributors that are linked in the description, as well as Mekugi. I hope that you'll join me for the next video and have a wonderful day or night wherever you are. Otsukare-sama deshita.